Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? Let us know what you're reading.
Happy Labor Day, everyone.
Yes, happy Labor Day.
Yeah. Has everybody read a lot of books over the weekend?
No, I have not. I think I
I
have
have failed. I know, like Killing Time with Cozy was having like the 4-day weekend like readathon, and I finished 2 books, so I mean not too bad. But I always say yeah, a readathon or week, but then I never.
Yeah, I failed big time. So yeah.
Well, when I knew I was having issues on Thursday night and decided to go to the hospital, I'm like, I should bring books with me because I thought I'm gonna be here a while, and I was right, but I didn't finish too much.
All right. But you just said on your live you finished a novella and like a little babysitter's club, right?
Yeah, Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew. There you go.
Yeah, so there we go.
That's not too bad.
No.
And Kat says, hi all. I'm going to start a contemporary romance this evening, The View from Coral Cove by Amy Clipstick.
Nice.
Hope you like it, Cav. I read it earlier this year, I think. What is time anymore?
Right.
And Nancy says, hi, she's reading Witch's Bane in print by Susan Albert Wooding.
Nice.
And hi, Dream says, hi, everyone. Tonight I'm reading Cheddar Off Dead by Karina Moss. That is a popular book.
Mm-hmm.
And Green Stick Cottage says, good evening, everyone. I'll be working on Be Your Future Self Now by Dr. Benjamin Hardy.
Nice.
Sounds a bit like a self-help book.
Mm-hmm.
And Jenny says, hi, everyone. Reading The Little Matchmaker by Catherine Mann.
Nice.
And Hannah says, hello, going to be reading If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy.
I read that one too. It was so good.
And Nadine says, hi, everyone. I'll be reading 4 Funerals and Maybe a Wedding by Race Bowen, number 12 in her Royal Spyness series.
Nice.
Very nice.
I like that title. A Cozy says, hello, I'll be reading Town in a Pumpkin Bash, 60% in.
Oh, very good.
And not enough bookshelves. That is so true.
Hello,
everyone. I'm reading The Rocky Road to Ruin in the Ice Cream Shop Mystery Series.
Nice.
And Anita says that, hi, everyone. Today she's reading The Dewey Decimated by Allison Brooks. I like that one. That's funny.
Presley.
And Karen said, they want to play with your string?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is hi all. I'm reading Pumpkin Spice Peril by Jen McKinley, number 12 in the Cupcake Bakery.
Nice.
That is very fall. Pumpkin Spice Peril. Cajun says, hi, everyone. Reading Pizza, Paradise, and Murder at Papa Pacelli's Pizzeria, number 24.
Wow.
And Megan says, hi, all. Reading Pies Before Guys, Pie Town, number 4 by Kristen Weiss.
These titles are just delightful.
I love it.
And the book fan says, reading Red and Buried by Eva Gates. Yay.
Nice.
Hi, Elizabeth. You made it before it was over.
Early.
Yeah.
Right?
Mel Meg says, hi, Stormy Harley. Hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I just finished A Treacherous Tale by Elizabeth Penny, number 2 in the Cambridge Bookshop. Gave it 4 stars. And Anita says, happy Labor Day. And no, I'm too busy packing to move. Oh, so she hasn't been reading much because she's packing. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, she got a new apartment, I think it was.
Oh, nice.
Melmac said, next I'm going to be starting Death, Bath, and Beyond by Lorraine Bartlett, number 4 in the Victoria Square series. Jink says, hi, everyone. Reading Room with a Rue, Pancake House, number 6 by Sarah Fox.
Nice.
Amy's Bookish Life says, hello. I'm going to be reading one of my NetGalley arcs. I don't know which yet. There you go. There are so many to choose from if you're anything like me. There's so many to choose from.
Yeah, the two of us, yeah.
Megan says, hi all, reading Pies. Is somebody else reading that
Another
too?
person?
Reading
Right?
Flies Before Guys, Hightown number 4. And Melmac says, I'm glad you're home and better, Sarah.
Thank you.
And May says, how are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm just tired. Thank you.
And then Jessica Ann says, hello, everyone. I'll be starting Boy's Life by Robert McCannon. You'll have to let me know what you think of that one. I've heard good things about it, but it's like, I think it's pretty chunky, and I don't know. A chunky coming to age story, I don't know. It's a horror book, too, so.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Or supposed to be. I mean, he's a horror author anyway, but
Hmm.
I don't know how horror it is. And let's see. Rocket Reed says, hello, I'm trying to watch Sailor Moon, but the voice actors seem different than I remember when I was young, so I'm going to have to go back to my book.
There you go.
And Jessica Lynn says, hi, everyone. I got to continue with Rocky Road to Ruin by Carrie Allen. Also, really enjoying it, and maybe some from the X-Hex for Autumn and More.
Yay, the XX.
And Rena Reed says, hi, y'all. I finished the last 2 books in the Heartstopper series last night, so I'm still trying to figure out what to read next.
Awesome.
And, of course, Hannah says, love the Cupcake Bakery. And Karen says, I do too. And Elizabeth says, LOL. Eliza Early just didn't have the same ring to it, though, but I'm glad to be here. And he just says, yeah, I'm moving southeast near West Long Beach area.
Oh, nice.
Nicer, closer to the water. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Green Six said, I started a cozy. I think you would like, Sarah. Knitted and Knifed by Tracy Dew. Set in a coastal New Zealand small town yarn shop. 2 black cats. And it's funny.
Thank you. I'll have to check that one out for sure.
Hello, Lady Val says, hello. I'm getting some popcorn to munch on. I'm reading Cloak and Dagger Hat Shop Mystery number 1 by Jen McKinley tonight. Cool.
Nice.
And Red Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahernan.
I don't think it's a live show unless someone's reading a Jen McKinley.
Right.
At least one person.
At least one, yeah. We got a couple, so we're good.
Yep.
Jessica said, chunky and small print. Oh, boy.
Ooh. Yeah, no.
And Megan says, no, that was me. Sorry, I added a new picture to my profile. I thought I deleted the first message, but I guess, okay. I thought I thought maybe it was the same person, but I wasn't sure. Jesse E says, hello all. I'm reading Death Overdue by Allison Brooks.
Nice.
And Cody says, no, you can't delete messages on live. They still show up for the host.
Yeah.
Oh, Presley, stop it.
Jessica says, hope you're feeling better. Sarah was really worried about you.
Thank you. I was more worried that they were going to keep me in. Like, no, let me go. I promise
You
I'll be good.
had enough of that in February. You know?
Right? I'm like, please.
Now I feel bad. I didn't even know like that you were in the hospital. I'm asking you questions about tea. I'm like over here like oblivious.
Yeah, no. I went in on Thursday night and I came out on Saturday.
Okay.
I'm fine. They pumped me full of medication and I have to go back probably in the new year for a procedure, but it's fine. I'm okay. That's okay. I'm always happy to talk about tea.
I'm rambling over here about like, oh, tea and cups.
Right?
Or
Like,
whatever.
oh yeah, tea.
Elizabeth said she's on audio. She's listening to Miss Lincoln Rival by Jennifer Child.
Cavalry, I think.
Says it's not nice to tease the kitty by knitting in its face.
My other 2 cats never cared. Never cared. This one is like, ooh, yarn.
So, Lee, what are you reading tonight?
I feel like I'm getting in a reading slump because I haven't read really anything. I've put off my buddy read, which I have to have 50% done by tomorrow. That is The Last House Guest by Megan Miranda, and I'm at 24% right now. So that's not what I want to read, but that's what I have to read. This is my only commitment at this moment in time. So
That's disappointing.
Are you reading or listening?
listening.
Well, at least it's not quite as bad.
And it's supposed to be a thriller, but I feel like it's very from a YA perspective.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of like, it's like kind of like a teenager perspective of it so far.
Yep.
So that's kind of where it's at.
Have you read that author before?
No. I've
read her before.
We were gonna read another book by her, but it was like her newest book, and neither of us could get it. It was like several months wait. So she's like, let's just read something earlier by her. So we went with this one.
I read the one that's got a Ferris wheel on the cover, and it's her writing style was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. It was told like backwards, so you ended off with them finding this body, and then it went back in time, the whole book to it was really interesting.
So in this one, we're going back and forth from like the year the murder happened to the next year, and then back and forth between 2017, 2018, and then like they're telling kind of the story of how like they met each person. So
gotcha. Okay. I like her as an author. If it's any consolation, I think she's pretty good.
I mean, it's good. It's just like I don't know. I think I was expecting something more adult. That's it.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, what about you, Sarah? What do you read?
I am reading Stuck on You by Portia McIntosh, which is actually a Christmas book. And it's super cute, but I found it on Hoopla because I want to do some knitting tonight. So I've been reading it with my eyeballs, but I'm going to listen to it now for a bit. So.
And so I have like several books going, but
not you, Storm.
Not me. I mean, yeah. But I did get this one, The Spell for Lost Things by Jenna Evans Welch, like last week, and it comes out this month. And so I thought, well, maybe I should throw this into the mix. But since it's a print, it takes me a long time to reprint. So
okay.
I want to get to at least chapter 3 tonight in this one, and it's told in like it's a YA romance. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it ain't too angsty. It's from the author did that Love and Gelato.
Okay.
Yeah. Things like that. It's my author. But this one has a little bit of witchy vibes in it. She has to go to Salem, I think, with her mother and finds out some things about her aunt. Maybe she was a witch. Maybe she wasn't.
Ooh, okay. I want to read that now.
Kind of got a little bit of a little. So I figured it's fitting for this time of the year anyway.
Yeah.
And the cover's really pretty.
It is.
I like that cover, yeah.
So I thought I could at least get to chapter 3 in that. And the one that I really want to work on is Aliana Girl of Dragons by Julie A. because this one came out last month and I didn't get to it. And I'm about halfway through, so maybe I can finish this one this week. So that's my goal.
All right.
Not a lot's happened. And I'm not sure. She's the author of Eva Evergreen, in case anybody who reads middle grades ever read that, I don't know. But this also mentions like the witch in here. Her name is Nella Evergreen. And so I'm like, is this like a spinoff from that series in the same world? And I don't know. So I'm like, if somebody's read that, then they might like this. And maybe I'll go back and see. I don't know. Maybe that's Eva's sister. I don't know.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But not a lot's really happened. So I'm like, pick up a little bit. But those are the two that I am going to be working on tonight, I think.
So you got that Spells one from the publisher, right? Because it doesn't come out till the end of
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked it up on Amazon. I'm like, damn it, I can't order it yet.
Yeah, it comes out the 27th.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go on NetGalley and see if I can get a copy. Just saying.
I have started the big one.
Ooh.
I'm 15 pages in.
15 pages.
out of 1,670.
Yeah.
I think it's like
You will better by next year.
Well, actually, this copy says I only have 1,043 pages. That's better than whenever I looked on it and it said 1,200 anyway. So, but the audiobook's 50 hours.
Oh my
so it's
Lord.
very, very dense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I've read big ones before and I don't remember it being 50 hours. But
are you reading that one for September, October?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I told my friend because she wanted to buddy read it. She's read it a long time ago and she wanted to reread it. And I'm like, sure. And then I looked at how many pages and I'm like, So I said, if we start in September, we can finish in October. And that's, kind of a perfect time since it's kind of probably got a little bit of spooky vibes going on. So, but yeah, I'm 1% in on the audiobook and I've listened to like 40 minutes, I think. So
Maybe just
I'm a little confused right now. I'm like, I don't have a clue what's going on, but we'll keep going and maybe.
We'll get there.
And looks like we have gone over, so let me get my little banner and read to the top of the hour like normal.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
perfect.
All right. See you at the top of the hour. Happy reading, everyone. So how did everybody do?
I did pretty good. I got to 34%. So I need to get to 50, so I'm almost there.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm bored with it, but I'm almost there.
I don't remember where I was. I think I was at like 45%. I'm now at 58%. So I'm enjoying it. And I'm really liking the audio too, because it's a British novel. I always love a British narrator. So
Those are always fun.
hmm
I got to chapter 3 in this one like I wanted to, and then I started working on this one, and I'm on page 149 out of 315. So got a ways to go, but not bad.
Not bad.
Yes.
What are you guys doing for your autumn memoir? Have you picked those out?
my video is actually going to go up tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I've started mine, A Duke for Diana by Sabrina Jeffries. I'm 7% into that one, I think.
Oh, nice. I mean, I'm just going to read as much romance as I can, but I do have a set TBR, if you will, more to show people, like, because I picked all category romances, like all Harlequins, except for one book. So just to show people that you can hit these prompts just using these kind of books.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I have like a backup, like I have an audiobook that it was an e-arc, but of course I hadn't got to it yet, so now there's an audio out. And it's I think it's a love inspired maybe.
Okay.
Claiming Her Legacy by
Yes.
Linda Goodnight.
Yeah. Linda Goodnight is definitely, yes, 11 inspired.
And so I have that one, and it's historical. So I'm like, if I don't get as far as I need to in the ebook version of the one, I can,
You have your backup.
There
grab
you go.
the audio of that one, and I can still. But I don't think I'm real worried about hitting each week as long as I get my 4 books done by the end of the month.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because I've never been very good at having to hit certain things per week. I don't do very well with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like as long as you can get it all done by the end of the month, you're good.
Precisely.
And Snazzy Moose says, "Hey y'all, I'm joining. I've been listening to Necroscope by Brian Lumley. I'm 59% into it. I don't like it very much, but I bought it, so I feel compelled to finish it."
I'm with you, Snazzy. I get it. That's how
It's an older horror book. It's a vampire book. I looked it up to see how it was kind of. And that one book they were talking about, it says Nitty Kitty, I guess, is the series or something. That was funny. Nitty Kitty. Nita says, Lee, listen to a chapter of it and then read one of the ones you love.
I feel bad because I've already put off like the 50% mark we were supposed to read at, like on the day we were supposed to get there. I hadn't even opened the book. So I'm just like, all right, this is my second time. It's just like, and I feel like whenever I pick the book, it sucks. Whenever she picks the book, it's like, oh, it's amazing. And I love this book and it was so much fun. But just so you know, my other option for reading right now.
Oh.
I knew Sarah would make that.
I saw it at Walmart at 30% off, and I had it in my hands. Garrett goes, "Oh, get it." I said, "The cover is gorgeous, and I want it on my shelf because it's gorgeous, but it's a piece of crap." Have you read it? No, I just know it's.
She's like, I know it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like have no desire to read that author, but it's fun watching other people because like you either love her or you hate her or something.
Absolutely. And it's funny, Lee, I was watching one of your vlogs, and you were talking about the last book you were buddy reading and that you picked it. It was garbage and you hated it.
Whenever I told her, I'm like, you just pick the books. It's fine. She's like, no. And it took so long to pick a book, and I'm just like, look, can't you just pick them? I'm good with that. It's fine. We could read whatever you want.
You know,
I'm trying to be easy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when me and my friend Barb pick out books, it's like, oh, I hope this is going to go well because you never know if it's going to go well.
That's it. And I just
you're doing a much more proper buddy read, like where you're actually like, oh, we're going to read this much every day. Like when Jessica and I did the Guncle, it was like, all right, as long as we both read it by the end of the month, we'll discuss it later.
Right. No, and if that's how it was, I wouldn't even be buddy reading this. It's because Sharon has it very structured for us. and she brings out the conversations and everything.
That's
Like,
great.
she always has like these good questions to make you think more than like, oh, did you just like it? You know, she definitely has the questions that brings out a conversation that we could get into. Because if it was just me, I'd be like, yeah, it sucked, or yeah, it was good. You
Yeah.
know, so she does it. She's very good at that.
Yeah, I don't know how well I would do with the structured buddy read. Yeah, me and my friend are just like, this is what we're reading, and like she's like, so on the witching hour, how far are you going to go in September? And I said, well, I'm going to try to get maybe halfway or close to halfway. Then I have the other half for the next month. And she's like, oh, just so she knew how far she needed to read.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, she's good. She tells me, she's like, okay, we're reading to this point, the end of this chapter. And I'm like, all right, cool. At least I know from there. So
that's cool. Cozy says she's so tempted to start Halloween and paranormal reads, but don't want to get burned out before Cozy Halloween read them.
Don't do it.
100% with you.
Yeah, I feel that too. I also started an audiobook, Be Our Ghost by Carol J. Perry. It's the first book in one of her other series. I like her Witch City series. And this one has a ghost in it. And she's like, trying to, you're not real. I'm not looking at a person who's see-through.
Right.
And my only problem with that is it's the same narrator. I hate it when they do this. It's the same narrator of the Witch City series. And I just finished that series or caught up to it last month. So I keep thinking I'm hearing Lee's voice, because that's the name of the character in Witch City when it's Maureen is the character. So I was like,
yeah, and they're just confused. It's like, oh, come on, I got to straighten it out.
And Mother Goose says, hello, everyone. I'm going to be reading the Gratitude Diaries and also start to read from my pile of picture books. Cool.
Oh, fun.
Picture books are fun. They'd be easy to read.
Right? If I go read goal in January.
Right? There you go.
Picture books is what I need for, what is it, a book a day in May.
Right?
And the Cajun says, I made my tentative TBR for the Halloween readathon yesterday, so now I'm angsty to get to them. Yeah. That's why I haven't even looked to see. I should have probably saved this one for that, but I already had it out on Hoopla, so I Cozy said, same Cajun. I have my TBR for now done. Yeah.
That will change.
Yeah. And Jessica says, I really would. I really want
the knitting
kitty. The kitty.
The knitting kitty. Great knitting channel name.
That is.
Cajun says, I love the one prompt. Didn't guess the killer. Kind of hard to plan, but I slotted one in anyway because I couldn't leave it blank.
I never guessed the killer.
Me either.
I just because it's not fun for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. I think that's when I can tell if I'm really into trying, I'm really paying attention to what's going on. Because there'll be sometimes they're like, oh, a clue. It's like, stupid MC, come on, there's a clue here. I found it. There's a clue.
I usually get it right as she's falling into the trap of the killer. I'm like, oh, it's about to happen right now. It happened.
That guy.
Yeah.
A lot of times I do hit it like a few beats before the main character. Because I'm like, oh, it's this person. And then she ends up, and it's like, oh, yeah. It's that one. But yeah. I think that would be an easy prompt because, most of the time I don't guess the killer.
I don't guess.
Melmac said, Jessica, the other day someone mentioned a series called Knitting Kitty or Knitting Kittens or something along those lines. And I'm so ready for all the Halloween books. My whole Autumn and More TBR is all witch romances besides killer romance.
Jessica, my October is all witch romances, and then the male one from Rowan Parish. Yes, which I'm so excited for.
I looked up that one that you and Jessica, I think we're going to read
Small Town Big Magic, or
yeah.
I
looked it up, and like the wait list on like that is like forever long.
Oh really? Oh no.
I was like, well, we'll try that some other time.
Yeah.
And Cozy's like, Kaizen, yes, it'll be a surprise prompt for everyone. Yeah. It's a great channel name. Yeah. Knitting Kittens. Knitting Kitty.
If I went back to doing a knitting podcast, I would name it that.
There you go.
And Leslie says, I'm starting my reread of Anne of Green Gables this evening. Also currently reading Doomsday Book by Connie Willis.
I feel like that's too very.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
it's our
awesome.
Tuesday.
That's great.
It's like when I haven't got it up yet because I need to edit it, but I was doing my like August wrap up and I was like, well, you did this like a little bit of a Amish in April and I read 2 books. I said 2 very different books. On one side, I had Pray for Silence by Linda Castillo. On the other side, I had A Churn for the Worst by Laura.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 very
different types of Amish.
Yeah, totally different.
Megan says, I'll never guess the killer, so most books are fair game for me.
100%.
And Caden says, sometimes I guess. So I picked one from a series I don't get. There you go. And Green Six said, the one I mentioned, Kitten, or Knitting and Knifed, is the first book in the Nitty Kitty series.
The kitty series. Oh, nice. Okay, great.
And Cozy says, I guess the killer almost every time now. I want to be surprised. Well, that's because you read so many. You've got that formula down.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Jesse says, I finished the 3 chapters I had left in Death Overdue. Now I finished listening to Midnight Snacks or Murder by Libby Klein. I'm almost halfway through. How are you liking that one, Jesse? I'm just asking because it's not my favorite, but it's everybody else's favorite.
Which one? The Death Overdue?
No, the Midnight Snacks or Murder.
Gotcha.
That series. Everybody loves that series but me, it seems like.
I've not read it, so.
Yeah, you haven't read it. You need to read it, see if you like it. But I think out of all the cozy mysteries, that one's the one that has like the longest like cozies. Because I think the one that Melmac just finished was 400 pages or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like really long to be invested in a one that I'm not really
right.
So
yeah.
Amergen says, hi everyone. Just got done putting away groceries. Going to read Color Me Crazy Annie Madison Mysteries #1 by Molly Docks.
Nice.
And Sherry says, hello everyone. I finished dinner watching the baseball game and reading Putting on the Witch by Joyce and Jim Levine.
Okay, I love the title of that one.
Yeah, that one's fun. Hi, Blake says, hello, everyone. Just finished putting up the fall decorations. I'm going to read Hex for Danger, #2 in the Enchanted Bay series.
Oh, nice.
And Cozy said, ended up listening to Sleight of Paul and read a few pages of my ebook. And Cozy said, Blake, OMG, how are you liking Enchanted Bay series? I loved it so much. I think my dog is having dreams because I kept hearing this little whoop, whoop. Yep, I see her moving over there. I was like, what is that noise? Megan says I got 9% read and I will switch to Mobsters and Lobsters.
I love that one.
Brilliant.
Lindsay, okay, that one was funny. I like that one. 13%. I didn't read. I ate dinner and cleaned the kitchen. Just had leftover chicken. That was still productive. 66%. Green Sticks had a 62%. I take a lot of notes. I like this one. True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours already. Denzel Washington.
Nice.
You're a note taker. See, I would just read it and be like, no.
Yeah.
It's like the whole like annotating thing. I'm like, I drew a line under a couple things and called it annotating. So
There you go.
Pretty much.
And Jessica said only read a few pages. The writing's very good. And Lee said, glad you're home from the hospital, Sarah, that you're feeling better.
Yes, thank you.
27 pages. And Hannah didn't read. She did stuff around the house and got dinner. Ribs. Yummy.
Thanks.
Ambergen said 27% done. The audiobook isn't great. Change to an ebook. To the ebook. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Bell says I was able to get 7% done, putting me at 67%. Had a call from work that cut into my reading time.
How dare they call you?
Work, I tell you. Amy says I got 43 of Better Believe It by Fern Ronay. It's an art from the author. Okay.
Nice.
I have one book for Autumn and More. Like
Okay.
one book. Okay. I was gonna say you only picked one.
Right.
And Greenstick said, I'm going to read my Autumn and More book for this week during the next sprint. Part-Time Cowboy by Maisie Yates. Yep.
Right up Sarah's alley there.
Excellent choice.
Melmac said I read 25 pages of Dead Beth and Beyond.
Still love
That
that.
title just gets me. 28 pages. And Cav said for Autumn and More, I'm looking a straight up romance, or can the book be romantic suspense as long as the romance is a significant part of the plot?
100%. 100%. If it's got romance in it, it's counted. That's my rules. It's not my readathon, but it's my rules.
Yeah, and I think, since they hauled a lot of intrigue the other day and we're talking about those,
Yeah.
kind of
Romantic suspense is still a romance.
But yeah, it's still a romance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is 16 after. So we're reading to the top of the hour.
Very good.
So happy reading, everyone.
You're reading.
Happy reading.
So how'd everybody do?
I did good. I got to the start of chapter 15, so I only need to read this one chapter left.
Yay.
I'm excited now.
Any better?
It is getting better now, yeah. I thought right there at the end we were going to have like a twist, but, it just kind of like ended.
I got to 77%. I have about hour and a half left on the audiobook, so
That's
I'll get that done tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I got to page 172. I'm a little frustrated because I shouldn't have looked, but I was wanting to know if it was like a series. So I looked, and remember I was talking about how it had like the evergreen, and I wondered if it was in that world. It has this marked as number 3 in that series.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, seriously?
And you didn't read number 2?
I haven't read 1 or 2.
Oh, I thought you read 1 already.
I had heard about the Eva, and it says author of Eva Evergreen down here. So whenever it was mentioned and stuff, but I don't remember them telling me that it was like part of the series, or I probably would have said no.
That's funny too, because when I looked up Eva Evergreen, it only said there were 2 books.
Yeah, and when I looked this up, at the top it says Eva Evergreen, and I clicked on it. It had 1 and 2, and then it had this one like as number 3. So I mean, I don't think you necessarily have to read the other 2, but you know how I am about reading in order, and it's bugging me now.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's all I can think about now is like, oh, should I have the other 2? So, but we're finally getting to where it's kind of feels like the Cinderella retelling.
Okay.
Because there's a farmland ball, and she wants to go because if you go there and you get picked by the royal advisor, then you can go to the Royal Academy. And she wants to go so bad and get away from her stepmother and all that. And they finally came and gave them like the decree that all 3 children can go. But her mother or her stepmother keeps making her make alterations to her stepsister's dress so that she can't make her own dress. And since she knows a witch, I'm sure she's going to find
knowing how much you love the Cinderella retellings, I cannot wait for you to read book 3 in Bridgerton.
Yep.
It's like so perfect.
That one is on my list for this month too. So.
Yay.
And Nadine says, I'm always amazed at how many titles, series, and authors you all remember and can keep straight. Me, if it wasn't for Goodreads list, I'd never remember anything.
Well, I'm putting back because, I demolished my Goodreads and I'm re-adding everything back. Yeah. I'm like, I read that book? I've never even heard of that book. Like, all right.
I know, like, when I'm looking through mine sometimes and I'm like, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that book.
And like, I've been messing with my NetGalley and trying to write down like these ones I can get like an ebook like from the library so that I can maybe have like read it to me if I want to, especially because some of them I must have missed downloading them and I can't find them on my Kindle. Yep. Then I'm like, oh, I can get these ones on audiobook and things like that. And I'm like going like they're part of a series and I'm like, they're part of a series. I don't remember reading those. A lot of times it's like the romance. It's like, oh, look, I've read. And some of the romance you can tell back then I wasn't such a stickler about where I read because I had like, I read number 1 and number 4 and this one was number 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, wow.
And Blake says, I'm glad you read that and read book number 1 as well. You read book number 1 as well, I guess. She said, yes, gave it a 5-star. Said your face there when she pulled out that book. LOL, not a fan of that.
Author. I know she's not a fan. That's why I pulled it out.
She did it.
I've never read any of hers, and I just don't want to.
Each to their own. I know she's got a huge following. A lot of people love her stuff. I think more people love it than dislike it. My biggest issue is that both books that I read involved a lot of cheating, and that's a hard no for me. So.
A lot of them do have like whatever it is. There's like a hard topic to each book, and I only started at like November 9. Everything before that I feel was like super teenager, YA, young.
Yeah.
I read one of them and I was like, that was okay. So I'll just stick with where I had going forward.
Yeah, Maybe Someday was the first one I read by her, and it was like major cheating in it because like he's with someone, but he's like emotionally with this other person, which is a hard no for me. And then I read whatever the hell Verity was.
And that was so off topic of like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But yeah,
like,
maybe some days the one where I'm saying I thought that was like super YA-ish, young.
It was. It felt very young. Yeah.
Verity was the one that my friend, she's like, why am I reading this? Why am I reading this?
Yeah,
the whole time.
so
She's
off.
like, what is this?
I do want to try November 9. I think November 9 is one I
That
might
was the first one I read.
Yeah.
That was the first one I read, yeah. So I think that's what made me keep going was like,
Yes.
oh, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but if people don't like them, I totally get why too at the same time. So it's
Mhm.
fine.
I'm not huge with like the hardcore realistic topic type things or
She
whatever
has a
it's
lot
even
of that.
called. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm like, I don't think I would like this.
There's a cheating, there's abuse, there's different topics for
Yeah,
each.
it's
Verity's
difficult.
off. That was like an oddball, but a lot of the other ones have you like.
And I did start the one that you held up, and I think I got like 20 or 30% of the way through it. It's one I actually may finish, like go back and reread it. But again, it deals with like some very difficult topics. And at the time, I'm like, I just can't do this right now.
Mm-hmm. I understand that too. Yeah, I always feel like because of the topics, I'm always like a week after, like still thinking about it and kind of like, okay,
Exactly.
let me read a cozy mystery now. You know, let's go back to Harvest and see what's going on.
You know, there's a lot of people that like, what is it? They call it hard hitting contemporary, I think, or something like that. But no, I like my nice fluffy. I don't
With
want
the world we've been living in, I'm like, just give me the fluff. Give me all of the fluff. You know?
I need the fluff. Yes.
Exactly.
And Jessica says, I just know based on what people I follow and how they talked about Colleen Hoover's books, I just know I wouldn't like her books. Nothing against her. I just wouldn't like it. And that's how I am because I've watched a lot of people review her books and I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Guess what? My friend read Disney Smut.
Was it Katie Robert?
I think it might have been. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
she writes the villain series.
Yeah, I think that's what she read. She read one of those. She said it was okay.
A lot of people really like them. I mean, Katie Robert, if you're into the smut, but she writes
it
very well.
Captain Hook. I think it was a Hook retelling thing or whatever. And she's a big Hook fan, and that's really the only reason probably she read it.
Yeah.
Because I think it was the third one in the series, and she's like, "Do I have to read the other two? I just want to read this one." And I said, "I don't think so," because I've heard people talk about them, and I'm like, I think they're more like companions. So I didn't. So that's what she went straight for. Like she wanted to read about Captain Hook.
I mean, I read Neon Gods by her, and it was a 5-star read for me. It was so good. Then the second book was like, meh. I'm over this now.
Okay, I read one.
I read one. I joined the club.
There you go.
And Nancy says, only got a chapter read, but put it around the house at 57% of which vein. Yeah, I love Verity by Colleen Hoover. I gave it 5 stars, but it's polarizing. You either love it or not.
I think what did I say in the live show? That I gave Verity 2 stars. One was for the book and one was for a star for me for finishing it.
There you go. There you go.
And said, yeah, I won't. I started Christmas last November, and in December it hit. I was over the Christmas talk.
I've already started reading Christmas books.
She was so annoyed by like December 2nd. She's like, I'm over this already. It's like, we just started.
That's why I might read like a Christmas one every now and then, but I don't want to.
You got to sprinkle them in.
Yeah.
And then that's what I do is I sprinkle them in, and then in December I go whole hog.
You know, and I have like the Debbie Maycomer. I'm like, because you know, what better time to read a Christmas one is October, because that's when it comes out. I know they do that because they want them out before,
right?
You know, and the buzz for them. But it just seems funny. It's like it's Halloween, and they want me to read Christmas.
2 of the books that I'm reading for October's Harlequin Anticipated Reads vlog. The first book I read was a Christmas themed. The one I'm reading now is Christmas themed, and they have October release dates. So
there you go.
Killer romances. Yeah.
What is it called? My oh
Is
god,
that like
we're gonna look-
mafia romance? Or
Mafia romance is a big thing too. My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey.
yeah, My Killer Vacation is the.
It took me a minute.
I never got to finish that one. Maybe one of these days when my library gets it or something. Maybe. They got like all the other Tessa Baileys. It's like, why don't you have that one?
I know.
Always happens, right?
I said I have my book out for October picks, Sarah, already on the way. All right.
Yay!
Doomsday Book is great. Love that one. I have a lot of ghost books I want to read in October. So Witches in September and more Witches and Ghosts for October. Yeah, I am trying to figure out some. I have on my shelf, I have a lot of middle grade that have been sitting over there forever since I worked at like Scholastic's call center, because that was really bad for me because they have a bookstore and you can get books for like 50 cents or $1.
Wow.
And so it was very bad for me. There went my paycheck every,
Right? Yeah. Working for books.
Right.
So I have a whole bunch of like spooky ones over there that I haven't ever gotten to. That's why I was like, I need to make the Halloween and read my spooky middle grade.
I
So
love
can
that
get
idea.
off my shelf.
I booked mine for that. I think I did.
Jessica, there's a witch prompt and a paranormal prompt and a cozy Halloween.
Yeah, I think I got most of my books picked for that.
I think I'm just gonna wing it on that one, and it's like if I read cozies that maybe I can lean them towards that. I don't know. It just depends. I know I have some that have witches in it that I need to read, but the other stuff I'm not sure about. Jessica says I have first in the Knit and Nibble series, next on my TBR by Peggy Earnhardt, so it might be similar.
Those covers are delightful on that series.
Those covers are really cute, but I wasn't a big fan of the main characters.
Me neither.
Melmac says the last two Poppy McAllister series were practically tomes, around 430 to 450 pages, something like that. But I love them. They're page turners for me. So fast reads despite the length. Yeah, if you're really liking something, the length doesn't really matter. But if you're kind of slogging through it, it's like, is it ever going to end?
How many pages do I have left? Yeah.
I was just talking to my friend, and she said she read The Witching Hour in her freshman year of college.
Okay.
So it's been a while. Because she's even older than me, so it's been a while. And she said, I was looking at the blurb on the back of the book trying to remember, why did I like this so much? I said, so we're going to find out if your tastes have changed since your freshman year.
I read it in grade 10 or grade 11. So I was probably 16 or 17 when I read it. So it's been a few years.
Jessica says, Cozy, I def planned it that way, then runs to the journal to make sure. Yeah, it's like you always say, yeah, I've got this planned out. That's like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
That's I just panicked. I'm like, wait, do I have like the cozy one already planned? Yes, I do. Okay. Do I have storms planned? Yes, I do. Okay. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I was working on like my little prompts and I was trying to get a hashtag. Did you see that? Did you think that hashtag was okay?
Yeah, I like
MG Halloween.
because then like right away what it is.
Yeah.
Because well, Halloween was already a hashtag, so I was like, with some like corn mazes and spooky things. Some of the stuff I was like, what in the world's Halloween got to do with that? But okay. When I was looking on Twitter, I was like,
no, I like that one.
Cool. And Cajun says, Melmac, yes, they don't seem that long because they're so good. Some of the longer ones seem to be much filler. Jesse says, I usually listen to audiobooks, but when I go to bed to save it for bedtime, I decide to read Do or Die by Jen McKinley. And Midnight Snacks was one sounding like another love triangle beginning. Yeah, I think there's a bit of one in there. But you know what, Jesse? You just get used to it because cozies 9 times out of 10, that's kind of how it goes.
Unfortunately.
You got to ride it out until they decide who, none of them are like Joanne Fluke. Most of them get resolved within like at least 3 or 4 books. Usually.
Yeah.
Got 25% be right, or 24% be right back. Didn't read the sprint. Oh no, Cozy.
Cozy, shame on you.
And Megan said only read 4% of Mobsters and Lobsters. I'm really enjoying this one. There's a potbelly pig in the story named Petunias. He wears floppy little hats. Okay, now I gotta look this series up.
Right?
It's fun. I have a soft spot for potbelly pigs. I always wanted one of those. Could never have one, but I always wanted one. Then Sherry said, forgot to check where I started, but she's on page 120. I forget where I start all the time. And Snazzy says, I made it 64%. Still pretty bored. I can't wait for it to be finished. I have 4 hours and 9 minutes left. That's a bummer. Some of that old horror is kind of hit or miss with me, too.
Maybe you can speed up the volume, the speed a little bit to get it down to maybe, 3 hours and something.
Yeah.
I did that a little bit to get through the Irish Murder in the Irish Pub. Sorry, Melmac.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I was saying that there's only like 3 left. Maybe it's like a 3-star read. They're okay. I just don't really like the main character, and I'm like, there's 3 left. I feel like I should be like a series finisher and go for it. And then Mel goes, "There's a new one coming in February." And I'm like, you had to tell me. You had to tell me. And BookFan says at 79%, I'm going to try to finish tonight. Been a little slow in my reading these past few days.
Good job.
Green6 had finished chapter 13 of 17 in part-time.
Nice.
She's almost there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the chapters are super long. Sometimes in romances they can be. And Mother Goose says only 2 hours left her audiobook. Right.
Nice.
Made it to 88% of Spanish Love Deception.
Perfect.
And Lady Val says, I made it to 80%. I would really like to finish it tonight. Cool. And Elizabeth said, I got 61% of my audiobook. It's kind of a long one, though, so still almost 7 hours left at regular speed. Of course, I'm speaking it up, though.
With you, Elizabeth.
And Debbie said, hello, started a new book, Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. I just read 10 pages, so can't weigh in yet. It does have a beautiful cover.
I don't know about the book, but the cover is lovely.
The covers will do you in. They'll put you in. Then
right?
It might not be so pretty. And then she said she's really enjoying, to Cajun, she's really enjoying the China Bills. Also, some of the oldies are really good. Amy said, I took a shower and listened to If We Were Villains by ML Rio for
I hope
Amy, are you liking that one? I keep thinking maybe one of these days I'm going to read that and I haven't.
I hope you like it better than I did.
Oh, so you didn't like it.
Be prepared for a lot of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
A lot of Shakespeare. Yeah.
I like Shakespeare, so maybe it'll be.
Yeah, the references and stuff might be more for you. I was just like, just kill whoever it is and let's move on over here. Who cares? So.
I was like the one that read Shakespeare after I got out of school. And people are like, why are you reading this? And I'm like, because I wanted to.
I didn't read it in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to read any of it in school, but I watched, I think it's called Renaissance Man with Danny DeVito.
Yes.
And they were studying Hamlet and stuff they were doing. And I'm like, well, this sounds kind of fun. So I went out and got Hamlet and read it. So
there you go.
I do have to say, one of my favorite movies as a throwback is Romeo plus Juliet, the one with Claire Danes and DiCaprio. I love that damn movie.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I think I watched that once a long time ago. Almost done with our eBay listing for the day.
Great job.
Oh. I love Eva Evergreen's first book and plan to read the second in October. Well, then now you know that there's a third one that's mixed in with it.
If you read down, she said that's a prequel to the Eva Evergreen.
It's a prequel?
That's what she says 2 comments later.
Well, that's cool. Okay, because they have it on the it's number 3. It's down. It's down.
Don't trust Goodreads with anything.
I know. And it's like, well, like you said, you go on and look at Evergreen and it's not on there, but whenever you looked up this one, it had it. So I don't know. I DNF'd my book. I just couldn't continue. Got 32% in. Switched to second magical soap maker mystery, Liar. Okay, by S.E. Bowen. Got 8%. Cool. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, well, I feel better if it's a prequel.
Okay, so I'm on Fantastic Fiction. That's the one I tend to trust the most.
Okay.
And it says Eva Evergreen only has 2 books in the series.
Okay.
The one that you're reading is just a standalone novel.
Well, that's weird.
what it's listed
because-
as. Weird,
yeah.
right?
Makes me feel a little bit better. But I know it mentions like the Evergreen girl, like one of them, but not Eva. So I'm like, who's Nella? Because Eva Evergreen is the series.
Here you go. Inspired by the Japanese Cinderella story and set in the same world as Eva Evergreen, this story can be read as a standalone.
Okay.
There you go. That's from the author.
Well, that's why I always thought maybe it was a spinoff since they mentioned the Eva, like, or the Evergreen, or at least one, and I don't know who she is because I haven't read those. Makes me think I need to read those because I want to find out who she is.
Well,
It's like, is she a sister or is she like somebody? I don't know. And maybe the Aladdin one. I don't know. I got lost somewhere. Oh, wait. I missed one. That's why. I have the Beauty and the Beast one saved on my TBR. I have no shame.
Oh, the Katie Robert.
And maybe the Aladdin one.
Katie Robert also wrote for Harlequin.
Really? Did she like write?
She wrote for the Dare
Plays
line, like
or
the spicy
Dare?
line. I want to read them. I want to see what they're like.
Probably not quite as spicy as like her other, but spicy.
Probably not, because they probably had to rein her in a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait a minute. Also, most of my childhood has been destroyed. Why not add more?
You know, that's the thing.
Yeah. And then Ambergen said she wants to purchase that series.
The Villain series, the covers on those books are gorgeous.
They're pretty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they get you because it's like, oh, look,
Right?
these are pretty.
And then
And
read them and go,
ooh.
ooh.
Because she's like, it was a lot of smut in there. when she
Yeah.
was reading.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the Halloween Husbands for October, which Sarah spoke about.
Did you order a copy, Jesse? And everybody was like posting like where they found one.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I probably am not going to be reading it. So I was like, well, A-Books, I was looking for it, and like abooks.com had some, fairly decent price.
And a couple people actually found the ebook on Overdrive.
Yeah, I haven't looked to see. I have to look and see. But I have my book for October as well, but I'm reading it in September for the Read Your Shelves Challenge, a collection. But I'll be taking notes to discuss.
That's fair.
The main character of Knit and Nibbles drove me crazy. She is real
Yes,
snooty.
that's what it was. Yes, I concur.
Yes. Yeah. The thought she had about her neighbor and then the 2 girls that were coming in and then find out who they were. It was funny. And Nomac says, I have a Knit and Nibble series, but haven't read them yet. The covers are
The
adorable.
covers are so good.
Super adorable. Super cute covers for sure. Yes. The cat sold me on the
Yes.
cover. Yeah, that cat is adorable, and I'm not a cat person. You are on the TV and I'm reading now while you go through the comments. Yeah. I was going to say, that's what everybody that says they want to finish it, they can go ahead and like read while we're like
Yeah.
talking.
Mhm.
Petunia is such a great name.
Mhm. For a pig, especially.
Good night, Nancy. You're probably already gone. Says Storm, there will probably be many more Irish Village books. Shut up.
Much
now.
to your dismay.
The one for this month that she's reading, the cover's so pretty. And the Irish Village, it's so pretty. It's so fall. It is very pretty in fall, and it grabs you. You want to read it, even though I know I'm probably not going to. Petunia could be Jethro's girlfriend. Yes.
There you go.
They make an amazing couple. Yeah. That movie is so good, peak 90s.
Right?
Mhm.
I don't say number 3. It's just listed under and says Eva Evergreen. Then I looked it up and it's a prequel. Okay.
Okay.
So much Shakespeare. I am enjoying it, but it is strange. The format's weird. It will suddenly break into a script format for no reason.
Yes.
Like the author decided dialogue is wrong.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I do think it's one of those books that I have seen really mixed reviews about. Either really liked it or really didn't like it. And I think format is probably one of the reasons. Shakespeare is another.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought if we were villains, I'm like, this title's all for me. Like, this is the book for me. And I was just like, no, it wasn't for me.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mm.
If Jethro had a girlfriend, perhaps he wouldn't get into so much trouble, or maybe he'd get into even more trouble. Who knows?
Or maybe his annoying parent would, make it worse for the girlfriend too. You never know.
Oh God.
I know. She's so obnoxious.
So is Nella Eva Evergreen's grandmother then? Because I just know that that's the name of the witch. Okay, now I'm going to end up having to read Eva Evergreen after.
Right. Everything. Well, it would be perfect for October because
Yeah, I know, that's what I was
Right? They'd be perfect.
Yeah.
And he says sometimes Goodreads will label a book as part of a series if it has any connection, and then turn around and not label actual books that are part of a series.
Yes. All the time.
So true.
All
So
the time.
Because it's all volunteer, right? Like pretty much. Who put? Am I right with that? With Goodreads? It's like volunteers who put it in or something.
I don't know. I mean, I know they have super librarians and librarians. Like I'm just a regular. Like I don't even know how you become a super librarian, because I tried to change something because they had 2 of the Strangeville schools not is totally or definitely not cursed. They had 2 of them. One had no reviews on it, and the other one you could see everybody was using. So I was like, well, we need to delete this one. I tried to delete it, and it says that you can't. Only super librarians can delete something that has so many reviews. And I'm like, lady, there ain't no reviews on that one. So
Right.
I don't think that matters. If I cut that one out, there's still the other one.
Weird.
But, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe the super librarians are the ones that do most of it.
Possibly.
She said she found it on Overdrive though.
That's right. Thanks, Jessica. I knew somebody said that they found it on Overdrive.
Also, Discovery of Witches that I mentioned all the time. Sherry says, I'm so glad that I'm not the only one who doesn't like the Irish series. Yeah, at least I continued. You DNF'd. I continued on. She's done with the series. Like, anyone want to ship it?
Jatunia. Crossover.
Right.
So I'm the kid who read Canterbury Tales outside. Oh, I did, yeah. I had to read that one in college, but I liked it.
I read it in school, but I enjoyed it as well.
Never. I've heard about it.
I was the one in college that got on the teacher's bad side because I didn't like Beowulf. It was a British literature class, and we could have a discussion online, and everybody was all like, oh, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great. And I put on there, I don't see why everybody likes it because Beowulf was a jerk. He thought he was just, he's going to, kill this whatever Grendel thing or whatever it was. And I said, he kind of got what he deserved. Is what I thought.
There you go.
Macho jerk. I didn't like it. And the teacher was, when they were doing like roll call and said my name, and like, oh, Stormy Johnson, the famous Stormy. I'm like,
I
read my comments. Because that was his like favorite book. His favorite.
That's hilarious.
Pay through.
Pay through. There you go. That's hilarious.
I ship it. Okay. So you guys probably don't want to do any more sprints because you're tired. I see a young.
Yeah, sorry. It's not you, it's me, I swear.
You guys, so.
Yeah.
You got anything coming up on your channel?
Oh, what do I have? Geez, do I have anything for tomorrow? Get back to me. Hold on. I don't know.
I got my Autumn and More TBR coming up tomorrow, and I am gonna host sprints on Wednesday. I know, Lee, you're not gonna be around, but Storm, if you want to do sprints on Wednesday, okay,
We will hold down the phone.
right?
Oh, tomorrow I have my on the 6th of the month. I have my September TBR coming out tomorrow.
Oh yay!
I'm like, wow, I totally forgot about that. So that's tomorrow.
I don't have anything coming out yet, but I do need to edit my August wrap up, and then I need to make a video. So
Mhm.
I need
And
to. make a bunch
I
of
need
videos.
to do a tag video because I got tagged in it, and I feel like since I got tagged in it, I need to do it.
There you go.
And everybody's saying good night. Oh, I still need Jethro plushie to the point where it's gonna be on the bucket list item. Yeah, they're so cute. Okay, so 7 o'clock on Wednesday on Sarah's channel.
hmm
Be there, be square.
That's right. I'll do all that tomorrow.
There you go.
All
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
so have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you later. Bye.